to stop and look, and if in a month or so we see that we don't have to do anything, then fine. But I think we do need to take the action tonight to reopen the budget to review what's going on, and then in a couple of weeks we'll know even more. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I make it?
Yes, go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, I think, just because we go ahead and vote to reopen it, that don't mean we're going to, in the end, take some action. But I think we're being proactive, and I agree with your comments and many of the comments, and I'm going to support it.
In the Journal-Star last week on Thursday, Pekin is projecting a $5 million deficit. East Peoria, $5.4 million deficit. Unity Point Methodist is laying off. So is OSF. So it would be similar to a household where in your household you saw some dark days ahead and you just said, oh, that's all right, we got enough savings, rather than saying, you know what, maybe we better cut back on the cable bill, cut back on the cell bill. All we're doing tonight by reopening this budget is keeping our options open. I don't know what finance will do ultimately. So, any more comments, questions?
Mr. Chairman, this is Ms. Minton.
Yes.
I just had one more question. So Finance Budget Committee is like 10 people.
Yes.
Is there a way that we could meet as a committee, like 6 feet apart? Because I think that, like I would definitely support this too, but I just think it's so hard to try to get something done when we're not in a room. And if that's the 10 and it's, 6 feet apart and that kind of thing, will we be able to meet, do you think, in person, or is this going to all be done over Zoom or teleconferencing,
Tony, I wish I knew that. I think if we wait till maybe a little later in the month of May or mid-May, towards the end of May, I think the governor's orders are going to say through the month of May, but I think there's some questions on how some people are approaching this, and I'm comfortable with us meeting together again with appropriate cautions in place, face masks. So that's my preference too, Tony, to meet together. Yes.
Yeah, mine too. That's why I would vote yes for this too, to reopen it, just because I don't want us to be behind, but that would be great if the Finance Committee can at least get together in some capacity. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Since we need to...
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
Brandon.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Mr. Chairman, Brandon Hovey here. I respect the idea of proactivity. What bothers me, though, is the fact this is just for a 4-month span, and a lot of negativity can happen in 4 months, but a lot of positivity can happen in 4 months. I'm not going to support this simply because I think there's a lot of conjecture and a lot of speculation. I'm an optimist at heart, and I would rather us have a conversation about reopening the county versus reopening the budget. Those are my comments.
Well, we are going to reopen the county, and I'm going to talk about that, but we have 7 months left in our budget year, and we can see the devastation with restaurants. Our sales tax revenue is going to take a hit, income tax. We don't even have the estimates yet for motor fuel tax. So I'm an optimist too, I think, maybe not, but even an optimist needs to keep their eyes wide open and realize the situation that's at hand, Brandon. So, and again, all this does is give us options. We have 7 months left in this budget year. Any other comments or questions?
Mr. Chairman, Bill Atkins.
Yeah, Bill, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, although I'm not in favor of any particular change in the budget because we don't have that information, based on what Mr. Holly has said, I think that voting against this would be a really bad idea, because that means that if we do eventually need to open the budget, we're just setting ourselves back another month or 2 or however long it takes to get to where everyone thinks that we have enough of an emergency to justify it. So we're not guaranteeing we're going to take any particular action. We're just giving ourselves that option. And I really think whether you want to make a change in the budget or not, if you think that there is a possibility that what has happened to our economy so far is going to affect Tazewell County, and I don't know how you couldn't think that, then I think that every one of us should be voting in favor of this.
Thank you, Bill. Any other comments?
This is Mindy Darcy.
Go ahead, Mindy.
Okay, I personally have really just struggled with this situation because I'm a numbers person, and so I really want to see at least what we have as April revenue numbers and some projections based off of those numbers before I would personally feel comfortable doing anything related to our budget of our elected officials, and making any decisions that are going to affect services to Tazewell County. So being that we don't really have anything other than just projection at this point, that makes that really hard for me. But when I listen also to what my colleague said about not wanting to be behind on this, and if we need to make decisions, we need to be able to have the time to thoughtfully make those decisions. I feel like I need to vote for this, but I want to say that I vote for this, but with the stipulation that the finance committee be able to have some actual dialogue about what we're doing, that there's conversation about what we're looking at, and that I personally will not make any changes to any budget or anybody's budget unless there is clear data showing us that we have. But it's been a thing I've wrestled with for many days, trying to figure out what to do here. But I feel like the responsible thing to do is to vote to open it, but to also make the promise to our elected officials, the department heads, and the residents of Tazewell County that we won't do anything to the budget until we actually have more than just projection, that we have some actual data, and then we use that to project off of. Thank you.
Thanks, Mindy. And none of these decisions will be made lightly, and the board office is actually a part of the county too, so we'll have difficult decisions to make also, depending on what the numbers come in at. So, any other comments or questions? So we're going to do a roll call here. If you vote yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, this is Nick Graff.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I would just like to remind the board that any changes that would be made as an open budget would have to be brought back before the board for approval. So this is just a tool that allows us to go look. If we decide to make changes, those changes would have to be brought back before the board and approved by the board at that time. So it's like we're going, if we make any changes at all, which nobody knows yet, we still have to prove those down the road. I am going to support this motion. Thank you.
It's an excellent point, Nick. Thank you. Anyone else?
Comment one more time.
Yes.
All right, in light of everyone's comments, and very much appreciative of everyone and their thoughts, I will go ahead and support this because of the fact that we have to have this open, as what Mr. Hawley said, and to get this open to the public and that, and maybe that will give us the time that we will need, and I will go ahead and support this to go ahead to send it back to the finance and then go from there. Thank you all.
Thank you, Monica. Anyone else? So a yes vote would be to open the budget, a no vote would be not to open it, and we're going to do a roll call. So John, could you call the roll?
Atkins,
Yes.
Connick,
Yes.
Crawford,
Aye.
I heard aye. Is that correct, Russ? Yes?
Yes. Aye.
Darcy?
Yes.
Graff?
Yes.
Hall?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Holford?
Yes.
Hovey?
No.
Emick?
Yes.
Josting?
Yes.
Longfellow?
Yes.
Mennel?
Yes.
Minton?
Yes.
Newhouser?
Yes.
Trail?
Yes.
Rich Simpson?
Yes.
Scortino?
Yes.
Sin?
Yes.
Sundell?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Tim, it's coming back to finance, so I wish you well. And please everyone, as you have input and ideas, please communicate those to Tim or Wendy. Talk to the other electeds, talk to everyone, and then as the numbers come in, we'll be able to make some decisions that are based on the data. And again, this is kind of a difficult period, so thanks everyone. Any unfinished business? Greg, I haven't forgotten your thing about Woodford County. Any new business? Okay, let me just cover a couple of things. First, Mike Gregson had asked you to maybe comment on the Woodford County State's Attorney's decision today. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
Mike Holly?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I had a couple of people, you cut out for just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, I guess, to the extent of what I've read in the newspaper. I didn't know, maybe, Mr. Sin, did you have any specific questions about it?
One, I assume you're recommend not to do this because it'd be in defiance of the state. I mean, how comparable would be some of the stuff? I know we had all these RV people, contractors. I really look with the code what we can do. Our radius here, the state attorney, it's Woodford's not enforcing. I guess I want to hear from you or your opinion of his reaction and what you would do, thanks.
Yeah, I understand there's a lot of concern over the constitutionality of, if not the entire executive order that the governor has issued, portions of it at least. I think everyone's probably aware at this point that there are some pending cases in various courts in the state that are kind of addressing that issue with this order. We'll see how that litigation kind of plays out. As far as any sort of an official policy of the Tazewell County State's Attorney, I would defer to him regarding that. If he is taking any kind of a position or a policy of any kind. I know, there's a lot of considerations for some of the businesses and citizens that are maybe not confined specifically to, whatever city they live in or whatever county they live in. A lot of these situations involve people who have to consider a lot of different factors. There's, for businesses, state licenses that they have to consider, city ordinances that might apply, and then any sort of county regulation or county restrictions or
enforcement that might take place. So there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. But again, if there was any kind of official policy in Tazewell County from the state's attorney, I'll defer to him on that.
So for those on the phone that aren't familiar with it, the Woodford County State's Attorney in an email had stated that he would allow non-essential businesses and churches to gather again with caution as they felt led, and he would not prosecute these people. So that's where that question came from. I know a lot of you have gotten emails from RVers and campers. I have too. We don't have any control over that. If you choose to respond back, that's fine. But again, we really don't have any authority. And obviously, this is a concerted effort because I think we've all received quite a few. Any other comments or questions? I just have one more announcement then before we approve the calendar. Anything anybody wants to bring forward? Just the last announcement. Go ahead. Did somebody say something? So my last announcement is, as most of you know, many of our employees have been staying home for the last month. And so as of Monday, May 4th, we're going to call back all employees to Tazewell County. The McKenzie building will still be locked, and people will need an appointment to get in there. Their temperatures will be taken, so will employees. We're working through many of the details. We're putting in the proper barriers and offering face masks for people that can't social distance with their job. But just so you know that Monday, May 4th is when we'll be bringing people back. So, any other questions on anything? Okay, the bills were sent to us. Yeah, go ahead.
Is the mask going to be mandatory for the people coming into the building?
The masks? No, not the mask, just our employees that aren't able to work more than 6 feet apart. And I don't even know if they'll be mandatory, but they will be made available. We're still working through many of the details. A lot of this is pretty fluid. Pardon?
There are going to be appointments?
Yeah. So currently in the clerk's office, in order to get into the clerk's office, who's been open, you need an appointment, and we'll continue that policy through the month of May, and that'll keep us compliant with the governor's order, but still allow us to get back to business in Tazewell County.
Will the mask for the people coming in for appointments be mandatory?
That's another thing that we need to work through. Their temperatures will be taken, and they'll answer a few questions. Who asked that question just for the minutes purpose?
Frank Churchino.
Okay, thanks, Frank. We're going to do everything we can to protect our employees and the public, and we're balancing that with getting our county business done. Courts are opening back up in a limited manner May 1st, and so we're going to work in conjunction with them. All right, the calendar has been sent out, or maybe not, but we may be here again next month. Hopefully this will be the last time. Can I get a motion to approve the calendar?
Motion.
Motion by Minton, second by Wolf. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Everyone have a great evening, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.